Good day everyone, I am Dane Leonardo and you are watching Kusina ni Area Class 5.
So lately, I have been craving for a specific Indian food, the shawarma. Our group will make a Filipino version of the shawarma. So, less talking and more doing. Let's welcome our gorgeous chef, Ariel.
Hey guys, welcome to Ariel's Kitchen. So today we're going to learn about something that we miss so much, but we can't really cook inside our homes. Now this is called shawarma. The problem is, we are in a pandemic and we can't find any ingredients to make shawarma, right? Now today, in Ariel's Kitchen, we're going to learn how to make a Filipino version of a shawarma that can be found in our houses. Now the first thing we're going to have to make is the shawarma wrap, right? Now it's very difficult to find shawarma wrap ingredients inside our houses. So now we're going to make an alternative. So put on your favorite food shirt and your apron and let's get going.
We can make the wrap using only wheat flour, salt, and water. If you don't have wheat flour, you can also use an all-purpose flour. Starting with flour, we're going to need 2 cups of flour. Before putting it in the bowl, sift it to filter out anything clumpy or dirt that could ruin the mix. Next is salt. We need only 1 teaspoon of salt to give it a little taste. Proceed to mix it thoroughly with the flour. We need only 3/4 cups of water. 3/4. While adding the water, stir the mix gently with your fingers in a circular motion until it starts to gather. Add more flour if the dough looks sticky, and add more water if it looks too dry and firm. Once gathered, knead until it's soft and pliable enough to not stick to your hands. Cover the dough with plastic wrap and let it rest for at least 1 hour at room temperature. Put a little flour on your tray to avoid stickiness. After 1 hour, unwrap the dough. Form a horizontal line with the dough. Remember that all parts must be equal in length and width for it to be cut equally. Cut the dough into equal parts. You can also use a knife, but right now I'm using a dough cutter. Form a dough ball with all of the parts. Roll and flatten it a bit with your hands. Place the flattened ball in a clean, flat surface. I use the chopping board to avoid the tray going places. I also put flour on the board just in case the dough still gets sticky. While rolling, it might slowly move to its original form. Just flip it and roll again. Sometimes it gets sticky. Remember to use the flour when that happens and be careful not to tear it. Be sure to roll till the very edge and flatten all the sides. I flip mine every now and then to avoid it sticking to the surface. Roll it until it gets this flat. Then, let's put this aside. Here are the ingredients used for the meat. After mixing all the ingredients, put them in the refrigerator after an hour or two and voila! Place the mix in a hot pan at low heat to really make sure the meat is cooked to perfection. Also, add a bit of toyo or soy sauce to give it that good color. You can also add a little MSG. Going back to the wrap, place the flattened dough in a hot pan without oil. The dough would often fluff, and that's okay. Flip to the other side when it starts to look brown. Ta-da! You can now put the meat in the wrap just like your average all-meat shawarma. I also added in a homemade chili garlic sauce that Filipinos usually have in their household. You can either wrap the shawarma with a paper folded cone, or you can also fold the wrap just like this. And there you have it, folks, a Filipino version of a shawarma that you can make at home.
So thank you, Ariel, for that wonderful presentation and video on the cooking process of our Filipino version shawarma and what we call now binalot. So we call the dish binalot. So shawarma originally is a Middle Eastern dish that utilizes thin slice of pork cut into thin slices, and they are stuck like in a cone shape. They are originally made of lamb and mutton, but in today's standards you can use like any typical meat you can find like chicken, pork, beef. So why shawarma? We've noticed a huge number of shawarma businesses around Philippines. So to name a few, there are many shawarma stalls in malls, even in school. I think there's JM Shawarma. So there are Turks, JM Shawarma, Shawarma Shack, to name a few. So there must be a love for this shawarma dish, since many Filipinos are buying into it and many businesses are investing in this shawarma stall. So what is with that shawarma flavor that is making Filipinos go crazy, I think, since it's such a big deal? So we chose shawarma and changed the name to Binalot. So indigenizing the name, we start with Binalot. Binalot is a name that is very common to Filipino culture. Binalot can mean like in parties when there are leftovers after the party and you want to pack some food and bring it home. That's called binalot. Binalot can also mean food that is wrapped with banana leaves, like such as pastel. That's called binalot. The act of packing something is called binalot. So the name of that shawarma is very familiar to Filipinos, so that's why we call it binalot as well. So yeah, so in ingredients and flavor, we chose ingredients that are very common and easy to find here in the Philippines. So first is the wheat flour that was used by Ariel. So wheat flour can be seen all over the groceries. Wheat flour, the all-purpose wheat flour, can be seen in many stores, so it's not that hard to find. Second is pork giniling. Instead of using the traditional lamb and mutton, we used something that is practical and cheap. for Filipinos. So we use pork giniling. Pork giniling is very common. It is used to cook lumpia Shanghai. So people be tasting this shawarma and not be shocked of its flavor, since it's very similar to what is used in the lumpia Shanghai. Next is the utilization of the chili garlic sauce. The chili garlic sauce is somewhat used, very common in street food such as in siomai. So chili garlic, the utilization of spices and the taste of garlic, which is very common in Filipino cuisine. The flavor of garlic in adobo, in humba, the food we season is usually used with garlic, and also soy sauce. We use soy sauce and MSG. Soy sauce and MSG is very Filipino. Like, we use the saltiness, since Filipinos really love the combination of sweet and saltiness in every cuisine. That's how we utilize the ingredients for that flavor to come to the native Filipino cuisine. So yeah, that's how we chose the Binalot, the Filipino version of the shawarma, and change it to suit the Filipino taste as a trend and as a taste, but as a taste. So thank you for that cooking.
Looks so good and looks so yummy. Looking good enough to eat. Thank you for watching Kusina ni Ariel +5. I hope you have a nice day and eat well.